Hello again, everybody. Welcome back to Keep It Real. Episode number 26 now. It's starting to come along, isn't it, this series? We're starting to get there now. Progression seems very, very close. Anyway, right. A pre-warning to the episode, I guess. This might be a little bit of a tree episode again. I feel, to be honest, we need to... Actually, let's walk this way. Go on, I'm holding up traffic everywhere, aren't I? We need to get those trees chopped down. Yeah, I just feel we need to get it done. I need to get it ploughed. To be honest, we're in the middle of June. No, sorry, middle of July. Next month, August, is the first month we can harvest the potatoes. And that, I think, although it's only quite a small field, the actual potato harvester is, I'm pretty sure, I've never used it myself, but I've seen it. I'm sure it's a single row. So, although the field looks quite small, given the tractor doesn't have a huge amount of grip, doesn't have a huge amount of power, I think that is going to be quite a long job. I think by the end of it, I'm going to have regretted it, to be honest with you. But it's all part of the fun, isn't it? And I'm pre-thinking ahead now, by the way. Once we have harvested that field will more than likely become no more. We're going to use that as a bit of a yard extension. So we do need to get our new plot of land cleared and ploughed as soon as possible. In actual fact, let's jump on this menu here. So yeah, potatoes, August. We have got 2 months, so we have essentially got 6 episodes to do it. So there's no issue about getting it done. It's just trying to get everything else done in the meantime. Now, if we were to consider crops, you know, we need to think about planting those quite soon into that new field. So we've got to get that field ready to go. It's got to be made before August. What I am thinking is we'll go with grass. Now, alfalfa, I like the idea of that because I've never actually done it before, but I don't believe that you can make silage out of alfalfa. So we're probably more than likely going to plant the field with grass. Now, I've had a good chat with Northern Family Farms, who has confirmed how I can kind of do a small tweak to the XML and just add silage in as an option to feed the cows. We will definitely do that. Now, I think it's fair to say hay's worth 80%, TMR's worth 100%, so let's stick silage in at 90% in between. So there's still an incentive to make TMR eventually, but there's still a big incentive to make silage over hay, which, in all fairness, personally, I think it's pretty easy to make hay, isn't it, really? To get 80% productivity from cows just by making hay doesn't require a huge amount of work to do hay. It is going to require quite a bit more work to make silage, and we're going to be making it the old school way. We're going to compact it up nicely. Now, just had a look here, nothing nice in that. I mean, that is really nice, isn't it? 112,000. That ain't going to happen. The reason I've jumped to the shop and the reason I've walked to the shop is because it's probably quicker than trying to turn the tractor around. But we're going to get a chainsaw. Now, of course, I have installed the old chainsaw mod. I've used this one before. I love it. It's a great mod. It's just a little bit cheaper as well, isn't it? So we're going to buy that. Now, while we're here, how much can we get for the axe? We might as well sell it. Yeah, £25. Can't go wrong. So the reason I've done that is it's removed my little kind of limit I made up on the spot of not being able to cut all the trees down. It's saving me arms. But yeah, chainsaw means we can just whack them all down now, which is great. It's going to make it a lot quicker, but it's also going to progress quite a bit faster as well. Now, I don't think, by the way, this is going to be an entire episode of logging, because it's just pretty boring, isn't it? I think it is anyway. Pretty boring. The reason I make these sort of videos is because I just want to make something that's enjoyable. So if it's something I want to see or wished I'd seen in different YouTube videos, and that's kind of why I make it, because, you know, maybe a lot of people do think the same thing. so we won't spend too long doing logging. What I might do, I'll probably time lapse a bit just so you know I'm genuinely doing it, but at the same time I'll probably cut quite a lot of it. When it comes to the actual editing, I'll probably cut a nice big chunk of it because I would like this episode to be all about the plough. Right, make sure we don't get run over. So as usual, I hope everyone is well. Thank you very much for all the comments in the last episode. I am recording this after the last one's been released, so currently now, let's have a look at the time. It's about 10 o'clock on Wednesday evening. So yeah, I have seen the initial comments from the last video. What I've also seen, by the way, and I can't imagine anyone following me isn't following UFG or Your Fault Game, but he is back finally. I've been playing with him online quite a bit this last week or so. We've been doing Silver Run, that's how I've kind of got the practice in for all of this logging with this grab. But yeah, he's kind of toyed with coming back. He's taken a bit of time out. Everyone needs a bit of a break sometimes, don't they? There's nothing wrong with that. But it is nice to see him back. And he's just created a new series worth a watch, only episode 1. Genuinely, I haven't actually watched the whole episode yet. Just because, you know, we're putting the kids to bed and bathing and all of that kind of stuff, cooking tea, and then thinking I might actually just play a bit of the game myself, which is what I'm doing at the minute. But I've seen the initial part of it, and I tell you what, I tag him in every video anyway, and I'd always be thankful to UFG because he is the reason that I tried it. You know, to be honest, he gave me the basic understanding of how recording software worked, of how editing software worked, and it just gave me a kickstart. And after all of that, I thought, do you know what, let's just do it, let's give it a go. So he encouraged me, he said I've got a little bit of a voice for it. I don't know if that is right, boy. I'm taking his word, I'm taking all of your words for that. My missus gets fed up with my voice, but anyway, I just want to kind of appreciate him again, really. So, which is what I'm already doing, by the way. But he started a new series. It looks like it's going to be really good. It's on the new map. It's kind of what I was toying with doing. I wasn't sure whether or not I should do one on the new map, and actually, I don't want to, because I'll end up turning everything into quantity over quality, just because I want to play on the new map, and I don't really want to do that. If I get desperate, I'll just play the new map, single player. Probably won't record it, just have a bit of a play on it, but I'm certainly not going to allow it to kind of change. This series is, for me, it's not anything to do with the views. I always say it. It's to do with the comments, but it's also actually selfishly, I just need to enjoy it, don't I? If I enjoy it, it probably shows. So I don't want to just switch over to a new one. Now, while I'm chatting, I'm just going to get chopping. Try and keep this episode as short as possible. Whoa. What happened then? Yow. Right, let's keep going. So yeah, anyway, I just want to say thanks to UFG because he's a pretty humble guy, really. He knows full well he is a main part of me starting and doing this. God, these trees have been a bit funky today, aren't they? But he's still giving me some credit in his new series. He's kind of said he's nicked some rules. He hasn't nicked anything from me, to be honest with you. If anything, I've nicked the whole editing process from him. But yeah, he's got some very similar rules to this one, and you know what? It's great, and that's exactly what I want. You know, anyone watching this now, I know loads and loads of people, even people who don't watch this channel that I've just literally spoken to, have all kind of taken on board some of these kind of rules, these kind of just tweaks to gameplay to make the game more enjoyable, and that is amazing for me. I want to make it more enjoyable because all of these kind of tweaks make it hugely enjoyable for me, and I absolutely love it. So yeah, you don't have to apologise for nicking rules, that's not what you've done, but please do. And you know what, if every single YouTuber in the world wanted to nick a couple of my rules and mention that it's me that they got the ideas from, hey, what more could I ask for? I'll be a millionaire. Don't know about that. Anyway, right. Let's continue to get on with this. I do like this chainsaw, you know. This is a good one. Brilliant. Now, because it is late in the evening, I'm quite enjoying the fact that for this next section, I'm not going to have to do a lot of talking. And I can just do a lot of playing. Oh my god, where am I? Wow, that got a bit confusing. So yeah, I'm just going to crack on with this. Like I said, I'll time-lapse a little bit of it. But I'm pretty sure when it comes to editing, I will more than likely cut a chunk. Because I really want to capture that ploughing in this episode. And time-lapsing doing logging is just too much, isn't it, sometimes? It's too much on the eyes. So, I'll get on with this, and I will catch you very shortly, I am sure. Okay, just jumping it back in now very quickly. So you will see I have loaded them up into a nice straight line. Maybe it's a little bit of my OCD coming out, I don't know. I think everyone has a little bit of OCD in them, don't they? For me, I don't know, it just feels a bit easier to line them up. I can kind of cut them all to the right length as well for the trailer this time, rather than the issues that I had last time. But I could also make sure there's no branches on any of them, which there is still another one there. There we go. Because that is what caused the biggest issue last time, honestly. It was a nightmare I chopped it off and the trailer pretty much exploded. But anyway, right, so I can get chopping these all to length. Got a rough idea of length there, that's why I kind of tidily positioned the trailer here. I've got to try and make sure don't have too much overhang. So we'll go with that, and then we'll pretty much just imitate that cut in the same place. See, that one's a bit further over, so let's go there-ish. That one is about the same, so we'll go there-ish. Oh, that one there's way off, isn't it? So let's guess that at about there. This one here, that length probably needs to be here-ish. Wow, there are a lot of logs here. This is a lot of logs. I can't even get to the ones underneath it. That one there, that's the one. About there. Just see how much wood there is. Honestly, this is a lot. Where does that end? Right, so there. Let's go about there. So I'm still kind of guesstimating. I never did install that measurement mod, actually. I know I said I was going to. I never did. To be honest, I'm not really sure. It's in there somewhere, but Mod Hub now it's just so huge, isn't it? There's such a massive selection of mods available to actually download, and honestly, it's like a minefield now, trying to have a look through for what you want. And of course you can't just easily search things because most mods do have their random names, of course. Now the fact that, the fact that I powered them up might make them easier to load, but actually I might be wrong. Oh, I don't know, that does seem a bit easier. Lovely. Right, so I'll probably nip this into a bit more of a time lapse again, just so you can see I'm keeping it real. I'm kind of doing it properly. I'm not cheating. I'm not one who likes using super strength. And to be honest, I mean, if you've watched this series right through, I think that's pretty obvious now anyway. So there is no need for me to time lapse this whole thing because by now I'm sure you kind of know how it works for me. Right, let's open this up. Ooh, that is a heavy log. That trailer isn't as great as it looked when we first started, is it? Well, we've got 12.5 grand now. I wonder. We'll load this up and I wonder if it's worth just maybe leasing a bit of a better option. I do wonder. I'm curious to know as well actually what... Oh gosh. Don't take that corner that tight. I'm curious to know what you think around the leasing. So, you know, that I am leasing. Leasing's normal. Leasing is absolutely real. I think farmers wouldn't even survive if they couldn't borrow the equipment. But should I put a limit on just how much? Because I am conscious. I do seem to be leasing quite a lot at the moment. Now, considering I tend to play all of my saves without leasing at all. I think this is the first one I've actually leased things on. But do I just allow the money to dictate if we're leasing too much? I mean, given the money is tight, if I continue to lease stuff, we're just going to go bankrupt. Or do I put a limit on it? I don't know. I'm not too sure. I think the amount of stuff that I've got leased at the minute probably is about as much as I should have, really. Now, this log grab is a bit of a pain sometimes, as you can tell. It doesn't like to release the logs. It is a nightmare. Come on, you can. Oh no, what's happening? Oh dear. I think this is going to be a disaster. I don't understand what is going on. What is happening? Just let go of the damn log. Oh, honestly. Right, well, we'll keep going. I'll try and neaten that up a minute. Mahindra is just there for show, really. It's not actually doing much to help us out. But if I can just... There you go. That's a bit better, isn't it? level it out. I think maybe this might have to be the last load we do with that trailer, maybe. Clearly I cut that log far too long as well, so I should have introduced the tape measure mod, that is for sure. But yeah, I'll have a look in the shop in a minute and see whether or not there are any slightly better logging trailers. Now, I don't think I've activated anymore, so it could be base game, which is fine. The only thing to be careful of is I might not be able to pull it. These base game ones do tend to be more aimed at the newer equipment which comes with the base game. So I'll have a look in a minute. Anyway, right, I reckon, oh, before I embarrass myself, I'll flick this into a time lapse. Okay, here we are, jumping back in. Now, I've underloaded this trailer, but as you can tell, it's still out of control. Still snaking itself around everywhere. But it's pullable. If I put any more in, just because of the way the logs are stacking, I guess, with the kind of invisible gap that's in between them all. Oh dear, even now it's wobbly, isn't it? But look where I'm going. Yeah, any more than that, I wouldn't have been able to control it at all. So at least this is drivable, sort of. We'll sell these. I'm just going to head up to the shop, have a little peek. I don't know, is there even a base game one which would be pullable? I'm not too sure. Interestingly, I mean, I imagine right here, right now, this episode probably hasn't taken too long. I can't imagine we're too far into it because of the kind of time lapse. Maybe I've cut the odd bit, not too sure. But you will notice I don't want to look away because I'm going to lose control, but you'll notice in the top corner the time is 3:30 in the afternoon of the middle of July. So actually, I mean, I guess, oh dear, it kind of shows just how long this has taken to do properly, because we're not on a main road. But yeah, actually this may well be the first episode where we do more than one day in the episode, because I think logging in the dark is going to be near impossible. I don't think the lights are that great on the man. So we could well shortly skip through a night and continue this same episode with the login into the next day. So as always, where is the best price for wood? So there's not much in it again as normal, but biomass plant is a little bit more, which suits us because that is also a little bit closer. So let's go. Sorry, Van. Let's get over into here. Yeah, this I feel it is the trailer that's causing this. I think the man feels like it's got more than enough power. It's just that this trailer doesn't really want to hold that many logs, I'm not going to lie. This is probably a bit too big. Now I'm going to shut the engine off actually, because we're getting a bit low on fuel. Yeah, doesn't look like very much at all, but I mean, I guess the double the length of the trailer. Yeah, it's not very good loading by me this time around. Anyway, right. What do we think it's going to be worth? Boom. 6,255 with £140 environmental score. Amazing. Right. Before we drive up to the shop, let's just have a quick look and see what is actually available. Oh, there's a new baler appeared in there, but still no good for us currently. Right, let's go into Forestry. Where is Forestry? I always struggle to find Forestry, and I know it's looking right at me. There it is. Right. What else have we got? So, at the end, yeah, we know. That's the trailer we own. We're definitely not getting a semi-trailer. Did I say that properly? Yeah, that's not going to happen. And, to be honest, there's not. I don't want to be getting anything like that. I mean, no. It's just too big, isn't it? It's too big for the man. Definitely too big for the man. Give me a second. Okay. Right. So, I have just quickly nipped out and jumped straight back in and found a slightly different trailer, which again suits the series. I'm sure of it. And, I mean, I've only looked at the screenshots and I haven't looked at it in game, but I'm pretty certain it's going to be far better for the job, and it looks like it's going to be pullable by the man. At least I hope so. Anyway, if not, we might be needing to upgrade that tractor sooner than I planned. I'll tell you what, actually, 18,866. We have so much money. So much money. We're not far off even buying something like the Fiat Agri, brand new. I mean, if you consider it brand new given the age of it, but they're only 30 odd grand. Wow, this is happening much sooner than I thought. But I'm not going to lie, one of the reasons I am putting this much effort into making this much money as quickly as we can is not because I want to speed the series up. It's because I want to do some adaptations back at the farm. Change the cow barn to one that just naturally produces manure and slurry, and I want to be able to put some form of small wooden house in somewhere in our yard. Once the potatoes are gone, it's completely open then, just to stop paying this rent all the time. It saves the commute. It would just be so much better, wouldn't it? Right, anyway, we'll do this properly. Let's jump into the shop menu. So we'll return the forestry equipment, that one there. So I was considering maybe we would buy that, but we're not going to. It's pretty much no good. It's pretty much useless. Whereas this particular one, if I can figure out where it is, and I don't think it will be in forestry equipment. No, I think it will probably be just trailers. This one looks a bit more universal, and potentially one we should consider buying. Look at that. That looks massive. Now I'm hoping, I like this. And look at that. That's what I was hoping. So this is definitely a potential buy-in one. It's old. It suits the kind of stage of the series we're at. It's certainly not overkill. And I mean, it would be even better if it lets me change the colour for free. No, it doesn't. Of course it doesn't. But if we're gonna lease it and then aim to buy it, maybe I should just make some amendments to it right now. Although I'm not going to lie, the standard colours are pretty close to the colour of the man, aren't they? Right, let's lease this with the intention of buying it once we finish logging. £349. I mean, honestly, what a bargain. Let's just check used while we're here. I know I did just do it, but you never know. Hey, if that Fiat Agri appeared in the shop right now, that would be perfect. Absolutely perfect. Right, come on. How many can I get this time around? Do it at slight angle. Pathetic. Absolutely pathetic. Right. I'm not doing that anymore. Yeah, now that I'm pulling up towards it, that trailer's nowhere near the same colour. But anyway, it's fine. Doesn't look too big for this tractor at all. And I don't know if I'm able to connect the hose. Oh, I can connect the hoses. I don't know why I'd need to connect the hoses. Maybe it tips. Don't know. Right. Let's go back again. It's getting dark. It's 5 o'clock. And to be honest, I could do with getting some fuel for the tractor. And probably going to sleep. It's been a long day. It's been a long day full of chopping. But of course it's probably, I don't know, maybe 15 minutes into the episode. Again, I am just purely guessing. Maybe 15, 20-ish. I am still hoping to get some ploughing done. Now, let's just pull up here. Hopefully, yeah, it lets me fill up. And given how much harvesting we've got due, I think I might just fill it to the brim. Right, I'm going to head back there. I reckon I can get maybe half a load loaded back up before I got to go and sleep. So we'll get straight on with it. Oh, that trailer is very bright though. It needs to get a bit dirty. It's blinding me. Okay, so I'm just gonna jump back in. To be honest, I'm still loading up, but this is going pretty well. In fact, I don't think I would have even have skipped any of this whole loading process because it's just gone smoothly. And what a trailer! What an absolute trailer! See how much wood is on there currently, and see how nice and flat it is and even, and You know, I feel that little bit of extra time lining up the logs is worthwhile, because when it comes to unloading, it just works. It's just easier, isn't it? I mean, look at that. This is just going really well. I've just got to hope that the man can actually pull it. Now, the great thing about, I guess this has been a French map, and it being July, is it stays light so long. So I haven't even really had to skip through any time. I mean, when I say skip through, I haven't had to sleep through the night to get a new day of daylight. I've pretty much managed to load the whole trailer again. And this is a lot of wood, by the way. Potentially, probably about there now. Yeah, maybe I shouldn't risk it and do any more. If I have an accident on the way to the sawmill, then it could be a bit of a disaster to fix. Also, one thing which is obvious is that that's fully extended, that is. I can't do any more. And those logs are starting to jump around a little bit as well. Alright, let's strap these. Strap them up with every single strap that the trailer has. That is great though. That is a good load. I went a bit crazy on the old measurements again. How neat is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 pieces of wood. Maybe I could have got it 12. I do like even numbers, but that's what we're going to sell it. I don't know why I just turned the engine off then. Right, start it back up. We are going to sell this right now. Oh, just before I do that, let's just drop off that weight. There we go. Connect this up. Oh dear. Oh dear. Yeah, maybe. Maybe I put a little bit too much on there. But it is a four-wheel drive tractor. It might level out when we get to the road. Maybe. Well, as you can tell, it is now dark. I've skipped that bit. That took ages. We are not going very fast, but we are going. Now, I'm probably maybe ruining the front loader a little bit, but the front loader is helping to balance us. Now, hopefully we'll make it to the sawmill before dark. This is not going very well at all. Okay. Doing like an endo. If you can even see it, it's gone so dark. It's got so dark. Oh dear. Wow. Keeping it real? I don't think we're keeping it real right now, if I'm honest with you. But too little too late. If there were police, we would definitely be fined for all of this. That is a big load of logs though. Right, what do we reckon we're going to get? I really don't know, but I'm kind of hoping this is going to be a lot. Let's find out. Wow, 11,188, 251 environmental score reward. That is just incredible. That really is. This trailer is immense. Absolutely immense. Wow, I can't believe we've got that much money. Honestly. It's just completely changed now, isn't it? This series has just completely changed. But then, to be honest, that is all debt. That's all debt plus more. Probably another 15 grand on top of that we still owe. So actually, in theory, we actually don't have any money still. But I'm not paying back the loan. Not for a minute. This is series changing, definitely. Right, let's head back to the house. Let's get a little bit of kip. What I'll probably do is jump off of this now, because it's getting quite late for me, as you can imagine. I start recording at 10. Goodness knows what the time is right now, but it's quite late. So I might stop for tonight, do a little bit of editing, try and get myself a rough idea of where we're at time-wise. And then once we've done that, I'll jump back in this very same episode still, hopefully. Back in a new day and try and get the ploughing done. And then the next episode, in theory, will be harvesting potatoes. And I've not done potato harvesting, especially with this new harvester. So I'm quite looking forward to that, I'm not going to lie. But anyway, for you, I'll be back in just a minute. For me, I'll be back probably tomorrow. Okay, so it is tomorrow for me. It's now Thursday evening, and wow, my timing was pretty off. I've edited the full episode. I think when I said maybe 15-20 minutes into the episode, it was literally like 34 minutes into the episode. So yeah, my timing is not that great today. But that's it for now. I couldn't possibly make this episode any longer. By the time I've done this little bit of talking, we're probably looking at about a 45-minute episode. That is more than enough. So I did just say the next episode would be harvesting potatoes, and that was just a complete lie, to be honest. The next episode won't be. The next episode will be the final week or final section of July, where we will focus on ploughing, getting that field ploughed, and I don't know, potentially leasing some sort of seeder and seeding it with grass. Pretty sure that's the way I'm going to go. I have spoken to Northern Family Farms in the meantime. He's given me the exact instructions on how I can make the cow barn accept silage. So we're going to do that. I've got to set the silage to be 90%. So it still gives me a small incentive to make TMR at some point in the future. But it also gives me an incentive to make some silage realistically over hay. So we're going to go with that. But to be honest, that's it for this episode. I more than likely will continue on right now and record the next episode. Just a bit of a pre-warning, if you watch this and you like the roleplay story mode, my voice is starting to go a little bit, I'm not going to lie. So that roleplay story mode may be an episode minus Mr. Travaskis. It's not too easy to try and get my voice to the right kind of level to do an impression. And when my voice is starting to go a little bit croaky, it is quite tricky to get that right. So it might be an episode where we'll go along with the story and say he's a bit poorly or something, just to save my own voice. But for this episode, amazing. Look, we've got 29,622. Don't really have any major bills to pay this month. Obviously the episode after that, which will be, I'm just going to say episode 28, we will have the main finance bills, £3,000. We'll have the rent to pay, which is 800 quid. You know, we're going to have a good £4,000 of bills coming out in the following episode after the next one. So we need to prep for that, and we do need to think about reducing those bills, I'm not going to lie. And I think one of the main things I want to do, definitely, once we've harvested, is move out of this rented accommodation, and I don't know, place some sort of wooden shack or something on the land. Definitely. I was gonna say, I'm suddenly really high. I'm stood on my tractor, didn't realise that. So that's it for now anyway. So I hope you enjoyed it. Apologies, it's kind of turned into a whole episode of login, which is something I say I never really like doing, but it's literally happened. But I guess you can only imagine how long this episode's actually taken from a gameplay and recording point of view to kind of get to this point. Really, there was a heck of a lot of things I time-lapsed in that, which was times by 5, by the way. So yeah, 45 minutes of an episode has probably turned out to be coming on 3 hours of recording. So, anyway, thank you very much for watching, and until the next one, cheers and gone.